Hello, hello, this Monday, July 10th. I hope you're having a great day. And I know there will be several people coming on later, like a couple hundred, who watch these after the effect, after the live. So I'm going to sit around. I always get on about a minute early because I'm frustrated when people get on a minute late when I attend. So I started a minute early so that I can be here when others show up. So I'm excited to see who shows up today. We're going to talk about how to get back on track. I'm Shoshana Rychek, your healthy lifestyle advocate. I developed a program called Flip the Weight Loss Switch, and it's a great way to recalibrate and get where you want to go through the subconscious. Subconscious is so powerful. And while I'm not going to really focus on that so much tonight, I'm going to focus on what habits we have and what's going on. I don't know about you, but last week I lost some momentum with the holiday and some travel plans. So I'm going to share how I was able to get back on track and some other thoughts that I've had and made some notes. So I'll just wait for a few people to get on and dab my eyes for a second. Sometimes I get a little watery when I've been working all day. This will be the end of the day. So it looks like there are a few people on now. I'll give it till a minute after, and then we'll get started. So I'm excited to share this information. Hi, Dorothy, you're the best. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you so much. I'm excited to share this information. It's when you have ways of doing things that help you get through difficulties, you don't always think that somebody could learn from what you've done or how you cope or what you figured out. Hello, Kenneth. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. So it's a minute after, and Dorothy. So I'll go ahead and get started because I've found that hundreds of people are looking at these after the fact. So that's really nice that it's, even though we usually have a small group on the live at 8 o'clock on Mondays, I guess there are some conflicts and not enough people know about us yet, but it's all good. It's all good. I know people are looking at it. So I'm Shoshana Rychek, your healthy lifestyle advocate, and this is about really, it's about habits. It's about, hi, Joan. How sweet of you to get on. Thank you so much. So this is about habits, and I don't know about you guys, and feel free to drop me a thumbs up or something when something resonates with you. It always helps me to know that you're here and we're making some progress. But last week we had July 4th. And that holiday, like right smack Tuesday, right? And then I knew I was going to be going out of town Friday. So I knew I was out of town Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm thinking, well, it might not be much of a work week, and maybe some of my habits are going to get messed up because I went to a party. Hi, Dale. All right. A lot of my friends, Dale, my dear friend from college. And so last week I just lost a lot of momentum. I was thinking about my travel plans. I was thinking about the holiday. I was eating foods that I don't normally eat. And I literally fell off the wagon. So if you can resonate with that, give me a thumbs up or drop a 1 in the comments below. Did anybody else fall off the wagon last week? Dale, you're doing fine. Just comment. It's like a little chat box. And I'm always looking for people to send in their comments if they resonate with what I'm talking about, if it makes sense, or maybe you've experienced something different. So when these things happen, I always go back and think about how did it make me feel when I was following through on the habits that I had? What was I doing that was good for me? I have learned at this young age that I am really enjoying routines. I just love routines, and I love change, but if I change, I still want a routine. I want to have a routine. It just helps me feel like I'm in a groove. It keeps me moving. So I don't know, do you all like routines? Joan or Dorothy or Ken, do you like routines? Dale, you said it totally resonates that last week kind of threw you off too. So when I think about is why did it matter that I had a routine in the first place? How did that help me? What was that good for? Thanks, Dorothy. Yeah. What did that do for me? Because sometimes it's just really good, Joan. Sometimes it's hard. I think we all do. You know, routines are actually really good for our subconscious mind because then we are sort of on autopilot with all of our routines, and then our conscious mind is free to think about the necessary decisions or things on hand, you know, whatever's happening in the moment, where our subconscious kind of guides us and remembers everything. So that's why it's so important to get our subconscious working well so that our conscious mind can be free. It's an important part of actually living. It's a way to stay happier actually and healthier, believe it or not. So when I fall off the wagon, it's an opportunity to evaluate and say, hey, why did it matter what I was doing? What's going on now? Why do I feel out of sorts? What's missing? And then I can actually appreciate why I was doing things the way I did in the first place. So, you know, eating habits, big deal for a lot of us, and especially with the Flip the Weight Loss Switch program, it's a really big deal to have habits and ways of being, ways of lifestyle and living that we can do on autopilot so we don't have to think about it. But even work-wise, this could do with anything. It could do with an exercise routine. This could be for anything. Why were you doing it? And how did it make you feel when you were following your routine? When you're exercising regularly, when you're taking walks, when you're, you know, working on a regular schedule. Dorothy and I have that in common. Or Dale, you know, tending to your home and gardens and yard and everything. And Joan tending to all your, you know, personal business. And so there are routines that we have. And it's really important that we find a way to reevaluate them when we fall off and find what mattered. Find what was important. Find why we liked it, because that's going to help us get back. The other thing that I like to do is I like to change it up. Now, everybody who's on this that I can see, there are some viewers that I can't see, but everybody that I can see, you guys know me, and you know that I change things up. My mom used to say I would always stir up the pot. Things could be going fine, and it's, you know, fine is like complacency to me, and that's not fine. I've got to stir it up. I've got to, you know, create some new energy. So I was looking up all the things that are valuable about changing things up. For one thing, it increases motivation. For me, it gives me a new focus. It's like, oh yeah, I definitely want to go back to this routine of some sort, but I think I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do a different exercise routine. Or I recently bought an infuser, one of those water pitchers that has the holder in the middle where you can put your fruits and ginger and whatever you want to do to your body in there. So I recently bought that, and it's a new way for me to drink water. You know, I'm big on herbal tea and I'm big on water, but this was now a new fun thing for me to do. So it's really good for increasing your motivation, getting a new focus, and it avoids stagnation and boredom. It avoids, you don't feel stuck. It's like, oh yeah, I want to go back to this habit, and let's just stick on the food thing for now just because that's what I've been specializing in. But changing that up, changing up a new vegetable thing or cutting up different vegetables to keep in the refrigerator to snack on, whatever that is for you. It gets you out of feeling stuck. It's something new to enjoy, and new shiny is always fun. Great for personal growth and really good for your brain. You know, our brains develop neural pathways, and every time we develop new habits, we have these new neural pathways. And it's really healthy to get something new happening in our body and make our brain develop another neural pathway. It's so good for our brain. It's very stimulating. It's very good for our cognitive health. And maybe you've heard of people saying, yeah, Dorothy, cool. And maybe you've heard of people saying, yeah, you know, when you drive to work, let's just say, or to the store or wherever you normally go, You always take a certain route. Change it up once in a while. Make yourself think a little bit. It's really good to do. It gives you a new perspective, and it stimulates your creativity. It helps you think, well, what else could I do to achieve my goals and get where I want to go with this? What else could I do? You build resilience. Things in life are always changing. So when we on purpose choose to make a change, we're just preparing ourselves and being proactive for change and helping ourselves better deal and cope with change when it happens. So changing things up when you get stuck or when you fall off the wagon is a really good way to get ahead. Hey, Suze, good to see you. And be able to change and avoid complacency. And that's what I was talking about. I don't like when things are smooth, I like when the water is smooth like glass, but when my life goes like this, I'm changing it up. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change my workout routine. I'm going to start a new book. There is a great book I want to just share with you. I recently read it, and it's called The Magic. It's by, Byrne, B-Y-R-N-E, Rhonda Byrne, maybe? Really good book. It's a gratitude book. It has 28 days of practice in it, and you can practice it beyond that, which would be a very wise idea. But I thought I would just throw that book if you're looking for something to change up your routine that's not too crazy, gives you a little something new to look at, a little personal development. Try that. And I was looking up Franklin Covey. What does he say about habits, and what does he say about sticking with a plan and a routine? And he says, start with the end in mind. And that's really took me back to the way I opened up this conversation. And by the way, I'm Shoshana Rychek, your healthy lifestyle advocate and author of Flip the Weight Loss Switch. Today we are talking about how to get back on track when you fall off the wagon. We had the holiday, we had July 4th, we had, I was traveling, so that week was I just wasn't committed to my goals and my plans and my routines. And I feel better when I have them. And a few people who are listening in tonight said, yeah, they feel better too when they have them. So he says, start with the end in mind. And when I opened up this conversation, I was talking about, when you find that oh gosh, I'm off my routine, I'm off my eating habit, I'm off my exercise routine, so it's good to think about, why did it matter? Why were you doing it? How did it feel when you did it? How does it feel when you're not doing it? And that really goes back to this Franklin Covey comment, start with the end in mind. Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? Is what I'm doing now going to help me get where I want to go? Absolutely not, if I don't get back on the wagon, right? Or change it up and find another way to be get in the saddle, but find something new that's exciting, that still helps me get to that end goal. So that's what we're trying to do, is keep ourselves going to that end goal. Always have something that we're working toward. It's so good for us. And then be able to prioritize. So now once we're ready, okay, I'm going to get back in the saddle. I had a screwy week, and I'm jumping back in. I'm getting it all back together again. And so what are my priorities? And I've got a sheet that I work with. I'm not going to show it to you because I write really messy on it. I scribble all over it throughout the week. But I work on a sheet throughout the week. If you really want it, send me a message. I'll send you a clean copy. But it has, priorities. What do I need to work on? What do I want to work on? What are some things I need to remember? And as things come up during the week, I just start filling in the spaces so I don't forget, because it might not be a priority. And I always prioritize what I need to do. Is this going to help me get where I need to go? Or is it going to help somebody else get where they've asked me to help them go, right? Because sometimes it's not always about us. Sometimes we do things because we really want to help other people get ahead. And then, by all means, reward yourself. Gosh, I have a dear friend that I'm working with right now, and oh my gosh, she just reminded me, she's so productive. And I'm like, you got to pat yourself on the back when you are getting something done, when you are, even just getting back on track. You got to pat yourself on the back. You got to say, hey, Joan, hey, Suzanne, Dale, Dorothy, Kenny, I did a good job today. I did that. I did that thing that I really, I fell off the wagon for a while, didn't know what it would be like to get back on, but I did it. Or, anything that you've done, congratulate yourselves. We're our best critics, and it's so hard on us. And when we first started this live thing, I remember bringing up, if you had a friend that treated you the way that you sometimes treat yourselves, would you still be their friend? And I remember Suzanne was actually on that call, I'm pretty sure, or that live, and most people said no, absolutely not. So I want you all who are listening, and those hundreds that listen after, because that's what's been happening, reward yourself, thank yourself, be kind to yourself, recognize yourself, because the truth is, most people won't do it for you. You need to do that for yourself. And I'll tell you something else. When you recognize that you've done a good thing, you activate your happy hormones, your endorphins, and then your body wants more of that. So then you're going to do it again and again. It's going to say, oh, do that again, and say thank you to yourself. Oh, do that again, and reward yourself. And it's like, oh my God, those endorphins feel really good. So we don't need outside stimulation or thank yous or recognition or any of that. What we need is to love and appreciate ourselves. And sometimes, maybe, if we know that we're going to do that for ourselves, then we, on our own, will be more motivated to go forward, because those endorphins will be unconsciously. So, there's the unconscious, everything that works below the subconscious, your heart beating, your breathing, all these things that happen throughout our body. There's things going on right now, which we won't talk about, just kidding. But, things going on in our body all the time, that's our unconscious. Then we have our subconscious, our routines and things that, require our brain and our eyes and other functions. And then there's our conscious mind. Hey, Carrie, how cool to have you here. Thank you so much. That's exciting. Carrie's a dear friend that used to live in Charleston, and she's here. So cool. So rewarding ourselves, I think I went off on a tangent on that, but you get the point. It's so important, and it'll take you right to the top of our conversation. Because when your brain and your endorphins know that you're going to reward yourself, it's going to take you right to the top. Why does it matter? Why was I doing it in the first place? How is it going to help me? You'll be able to answer those questions. And lastly, before we get off, I just want to say that, if there's anything that's going on and you're looking for an accountability partner, I recently engaged with an accountability partner. I said, I'm so good at sharing all this information, but like the cobbler, right? Sometimes the cobbler didn't have his own shoes. Well, sometimes I want to have an accountability partner too, so I have one. And we share notes with each other. How did you do today? On whatever it is that's important to us. And, prioritizing our work and our, taking care of our bodies. So that's what we're doing. So I am always here. I am happy to be accountability partner to as many people as want me to. It's as simple as text messaging once a day. So if anybody's looking, hit me up on that one. If anybody hasn't looked at fliptheweightlosswitch.com, please look at it. If you know of anybody that's looking for help in that department, I would love to help them. Working with the subconscious mind, getting everything below the surface there so the conscious mind can be free to do other things is so valuable. And that was the big message for today. I'm usually just a 20-minute talker, and it's only been 18 minutes. Does anybody here, there are a handful of viewers, anybody have anything that they want to add, that they want me to expand on? I'm just looking at my notes. I don't think I forgot anything. So I know there's a little lag here, but if there's anything that you wanted to share with everybody else and add value to this live, please do it. We've been getting hundreds of views. If you go to my Facebook page and check on videos and then look at the lives, you'll see there have been hundreds of views. So people do look at them, and it does help them with things that they're going through. Okay, well, it looks like that's today. So next week we'll have another topic. We'll figure it out by the end of the week. I'll be announcing that. And I appreciate you, Dorothy and Joan, Kenny, and Dale for your first time, Suzanne and Carrie for your first time. Thank you so much for joining tonight. It makes me feel so good to add value. And have a great night, a great week, and please let me know if I can do anything for you.